Hello, what is going on everybody? This is Ryan. Welcome back to the Random Opening Challenge. And last time we rolled Sixthgod, so here we are. Always happy to be here. I think in my journey on my redemption arc. So let me just show you my win rate here. It's still not super good. We do need the next 5 games out of 6 in order to rank up. So wish us luck. Okay, so we're starting off with a cross corner. Pretty unusual these days. Let's see what my opponent is gonna do. Extend. I guess we just extend and jump. Even though some people really hate it, now recently I've been finding this kind of just bearable, so I'm not like too concerned about this variation at all. The AIs obviously think it's good for black to get the knight's move in and press white down, but actually I think it's okay. I don't find it to be that big of a difference. I think the Joseki you actually kick first. Oh, I hope I'm not wrong, but as far as I remember, that's how the Joseki goes. So then he probably won't play on this side because if I do a knight's move, it won't really do much. So I feel like just in closing, if he extends here, it's still invadable, so I'm not worried about that. If he extends, I'll just pincer. So I think that'll be okay. And shoulder here right away. That's interesting. Should I do like the pincer? I'll just extend. I don't think it's too bad to let him get the jump. And then we'll see what to do over here. I'm thinking of a 4th line invasion because he's kind of getting moiled now. So having stones on the 4th line would help me reduce that. Okay, so he just did a shoulder hit into Nuki. Okay. I guess that makes sense. If he jumps, then I will get to split the right side, which would be, well, I would be pretty happy with that. So let's see how he answers to our pincer. So up to this point, it's pretty standard. Nothing too dramatic is happening. Huh, he jumps now. Don't I have the ladder here? Again, every time I say this, I have to read it out because I always misread the ladder. Okay, I do not have the ladder, so he can actually haunt in the middle. Is the knight's move too aggressive? That's a big question. Because if I jump, he can play the knight's move, and that 1 line difference will actually change things quite a bit. He does have a weakness here, so I can clamp. Actually, that might change things. So yeah, he does have that weakness. Gosh, I don't know what to do. I kind of want to just invade or do a knight's move. Good time to pause and think though, because whatever I do now is probably going to change the later game quite a bit. Yep. I'm tempted to do a shoulder hit here and get Sente, because I'm gonna have every ladder, so I can pretty much do whatever I want in the upper right. You know what? Let's do it. Chances are I'm not gonna pincer anyway to expand on the left, so I'll just get the Sente move here, and then we're going to Should we attach? Well, let's do it. Let's attach and Hane. So he has to Hane under now because I have the ladder. So if he Hanes above when I Hane into the 3/3, then he won't be able to ladder my stone. So that would be a good result for white, I think. Actually, if he Hanes outside, I can also descend. Yeah, okay, I guess the ladder didn't matter too much. Okay, so that was expected. So he's going to connect now and then descend. So he's pretty much going to play the knight's move. I'm going to Hane and clamp to see how he answers. I think that would change, that would matter definitely when I jump out and start the fight. In the middle. Oh, he attaches. That is also a little unusual. I was under the impression that you can't play this move directly. But I definitely couldn't be wrong. So he attaches. So I can't Tanuki right now because then when he captures my 2 stones, that's going to be too efficient. So I need to do something. If I go down, he might enclose. Is that the thing? Okay, so let's see. I'm definitely going to go down. Wait a minute, if I just go up now, is he just going to sacrifice everything? It's a little strange. I do have every ladder, so whatever happens, this fight would be really good for us. Wait, I can cut. He can't ladder me no matter what, so I'm so glad that I actually exchanged this in the lower left. Because typically when you do it, it kind of just gets wasted, but I'm really glad that this actually did something. Because when I cut now, he has to connect on the inside. So that's going to change things. That'll definitely change things. So when I turn now, I don't know what he's going to do. I feel like this is really good for white already. So when I turn now, he can, if he Hanes, I can jump. And then if he extends, I can Hane back. So there's really nothing he can do to... He either has to sacrifice his 2 stones, or he's going to lose a lot of influence here. So it looks like we just gained the advantage with this fight here. So looking good. Yeah, these fights are always different. So you gotta kind of... Whoa, oh. I did not see that one. Uh-oh. I didn't realize he can just sacrifice everything. Well, we're just gonna have to go through with it now. Nothing I can do anymore. Okay, yeah, so he can live, but in order to live, he's gonna have to give me a lot of forcing moves. Wow, this is pretty complicated. Okay, we might just have lost if things are bad for white here. Totally didn't read that, so maybe I I got a little greedy here. I thought I could get the cut, but then I didn't realize you can just net. Wow, that was a total misread for online games. Big mistake there. So let's see what we can do to get this back. So he definitely is not going to block. If he blocks, I can play Tigers now. He can live, but then I get the outside, so no. That's definitely a no-go. He's going to have to... How do I reduce the liberty? That's an important question. Well, this is definitely... not looking too good. It's definitely not looking too good. So now if I attach, that's probably the only move. But then there's gonna be a ko, which is pretty heavy for me. This is hard. Gotta come up with something. Luckily, it's still pretty complicated, so a lot of potential stuff to do. Let's see if we can get away here. It's definitely not an ideal situation to be in. Man, he really caught me here with the net. Oh, I'm still really annoyed by that fact. But it's time to move on. So, okay, yeah. Yeah, maybe I should have played the Continue. Getting a little too greedy with my moves. This is getting a little out of hand. Is he gonna block? Oh man. It's definitely not looking good. Luckily I can still consume and extend liberty. So if I attach now, doesn't that end up in a ko? I'm pretty sure it does. So it's not over. Oh, wait a minute. Be honest. Oh my god. No. Okay, sorry. So I was just I was just thinking about. So if he Hanes now, I have two Atari, and then when he starts the code, he can actually throw in. It's a local code threat. But the good thing about that is I also have local code threats. And that it might still be playable. Okay, I have to Atari now. There's no other way. Oh dear. He can actually throw in over here as well. He doesn't have to throw in on the third line to minimize the loss. Okay, so it's not too bad. If because originally it was his area and my group is alive, so it's okay. Okay, it's terrible. It's terrible, but it's playable. So we haven't lost. And I think that's the important thing. Now, what's going to be my next go threat? What's good about this is it actually makes the game a lot more interesting now. Because it's not only a game of just playing, we're actually coming back from behind. Well, there's this Hane. This Hane and jump seems to be smaller compared to pushing through on the left side. I hope my judgment is correct here. I actually cannot push out, which really sucks. But which is, it's just casually sacrificing a huge dragon. No big deal. So, I mean, he solidified the right. But we also gained a huge profit. So, it's definitely not over. I can say that for sure. Because white has 3 corners, and there's got to be 4 moves on the right side. I just have to make sure how many points he has, and that he doesn't have much more than I do. About 55, maybe 10 more in the middle, so 65 points. Yeah, I have about 56, and it's my turn. I have potential, so it's definitely not even close to over. Okay, so there's a few potentials to expand. He doesn't have that much potential anymore. Of course, he has this middle part, but it's pretty. I have a lot of stones, and they're all solid. So I believe there's not much he can expand from. And I'm still looking at the Aji here and what I can do. Huh, he extended. Hmm. His direction's not that good, so I've been not thinking too much, and I've been just kind of playing along here because he's not really gaining that much over here. But with all of my stones, I'm reducing quite a lot of his potential. Okay, and as we speak, I'm actually making quite a bit of territory up top. So here he goes. He's trying to reduce it right now, but I'm gonna get the Hane, and I believe this is also a very big move, which of course activates another weakness here. So I can just Atari in the next move and capture. So okay, the game is actually going quite quickly. Oh, interesting. A very okay. I see what he's doing. So what he's doing is that when he extends, he's actually trying to cut me off in the middle as well. So I gotta actually extend and jump. Really? He's cut me right away. Okay. I'm using overtime here. I think this is a pretty important point. Now might be a chance for me to try to do something over here, because there might be a ladder breaker of some sort. It's hard for him to protect in one move, so I think it's okay for me to do something over in the middle. Okay, I can't let him capture these though. So right now, when he exchanges these moves, he let me first get the territory on the top, which I'm really happy with already. Unless I did a terrible misread and he can actually push in, but I don't think so. So I should be good here. And now he needs to answer the question of whether he thinks the middle is more important or the right side. Of course, he can just capture right now, but then I get to get the first move here. I'm going to try to be a little more aggressive here because I think these Aji moves are difficult to respond. Oh, I kind of regret not extending now because that way he wouldn't been able to do this. He would actually have to respond to my move on the right. Now he's actually got a very strong center, which is not at all easy to deal with. Wait, if I extend now, what is he going to do? He's going to haunt it right away. Which I don't think he can. Okay, he's going to do that. So then I can actually gain quite a bit here because I can push or push up. And with both moves, he's going to have to capture. Yeah, so I can just capture this. We did profit locally, which is nice. It's getting pretty complicated at this point. We did make that huge mistake in the beginning, and then as we speak, we're kind of inching our way back. Although it's difficult to judge how the middle result had gone. So I can't be sure yet, but isn't he just dead right now? And he's still playing this out, so maybe he's trying to get a liberty race going on here, or trying to enclose the middle. Is there something here? I think I'm gonna have to cut no matter what. I'm not just gonna let him gain something. I feel like even if I did die, I'm gonna have to cut. Oh, I thought he. Oh, I just realized when I cut, he could have turned and played the Kosumi. That would have been bad. That would have been really bad. I think I just play here now, and that would make my right group safe. And he can't really do anything. Yeah, so we're good. Okay, so we got this. He just lost a few points here, which could be important. And he still has to deal with this because he just lost a lot of points by wedging and connecting. So he's definitely going to have to go back here. Hope I didn't misread this one. I can just capture. Yep. Okay, so now that we're over with this, let's go back to the right side. He can't really net me because I can push and then you would have to... well, he can. He can, but I don't think that will be that good for him. Where did he go? Oh, huh. I think this Kosumi just feels huge. Yeah, this enclosure is very urgent. Now that we've got this one, his potential is going to be a lot less. And also, there's an imminent push and cut, so he can't just block. If he blocks, then there's going to be push and cut. So he's going to end up in Gote. Is there some Ko over here? I don't think so. We should be good with that. I feel like at this point we can actually be quite safe because he lost all that group and he lost this. All he gained in these recent moves were these capture moves in the center, which actually made no points. So I'm tempted to say that we're ahead already. So that's really good news. Wow, he resigned. Okay, interesting. Well, that kind of ended in a pretty unexpected note. So we're gonna have to go back to the upper right here. This variation, I completely got. My opponent caught me off guard here completely, and we're gonna have to read this out a little bit. So what I definitely should have done was I should have turned. And then that way I could have avoided this whole ordeal. Then it would be when I turn, he's going to, well, if he hanes, then I jump, and I can just wait until any other chance. Then when I cut, since he has cutting points now, he can't do the net anymore. In the game when he netted, the outside was completely connected, and I didn't have anything to go about. So in the game, it was actually super, super dangerous for us. In the game, I was actually kind of talking about something like this. If black pushes out, then after cutting, white could hane, and that would threaten a lot of things here. But if black answers, white would be able to come back and just capture the 3 stones because all the ladders white has. So I'm actually quite proud of myself actually exchanging these because for once, this actually helped during the game. So that I think was very interesting. When my opponent caught me here, I was definitely really nervous. Although I was also kind of thinking maybe I should have just jumped and then let this happen. I'm not sure who would be better in that case though. It's really hard to say. In the game, I don't think he realized that with that ko, white actually had a lot to go on because in order for him to capture the ko back, he lost a lot by throwing in. This made the white group completely alive, which has a lot of value actually. Because originally if black pins it or anything, that would threaten the whole group. But now the group is completely alive, so white got an extra move here, which made quite a big difference. So in the trade, even though it looks like it was really good for black, I felt it was still relatively acceptable. You guys with the AIs will probably tell me who's this. Maybe like Ryan, you're completely off. Black is winning by 90%. But when I'll tell you that during the game, I actually felt it was okay. There's some Aji on the right. There was this Hane over here later. So there's a lot of things white could do, and that's why I felt that the game was still had a long way to go. So then here I kind of just exchanged the invasion to see how he responded. He responded by Hane and Atari, which made my corner solid, with the goal that if I descend, he can actually just play the tiger's mouth, so that it's a lot harder for me to do something in the middle. So I decided to just leave that and then try to do something in the center. The center is definitely big. There's a lot of potential for black. White can actually develop on the lower side or the right side. So then we end up with the fight in the middle. This fight, so when he cut, I think I kind of liked my strategy here. Because if he blocked, when I clamp, if he extends this way, there's this Kosumi, which actually threatens to get this ladder. So I did read this out in the game, that white just has this ladder. So that's pretty cool, I think. So that black couldn't actually answer this directly. But perhaps his direction was not very good. I think black should not answer here. If I were black, I would probably jump down over here, maybe jump over here to somehow, maybe even attach first, see how white will respond. Oops. To see how white will respond, and then maybe do like a move over here on the bottom. Just take points first, and then take the game kind of in a long kind of sense. I feel like my opponent was a little fuzzy, that he was trying things too direct kind of the whole game. In the upper right, he caught me there, but then later I actually read a little bit more, so I was a little more prepared for his fighting initiations, or I guess his challenges to fight. So over here, I probably should have turned first so that he won't be able to actually just capture me in one move. So right now, even if he spends a move in the center, it's a lot harder for black to finish it. So he's going to have to come back here, and then white would actually get the first move. I think this is actually pretty nice for white. Actually, white will definitely not exchange that. Perhaps white would just jump in Hane. I was actually kind of looking towards maybe a variation like this, where white just jumps in Hane's, and then maybe gets another Atari, and then connect. I was thinking something along the lines of this. Yeah, but of course it's a fast game. I can only kind of tell you what I was thinking about. Of course, I didn't read everything. Kind of just what I've been trying to get a feel for. So black would escape, and then white would probably destroy the center. Black would come back to capture, and then we will finish up the middle and then go into endgame. That was kind of how I thought the game would go. It's a lot of Aji here, though. I'm not sure whether black could actually capture the 3 stones cleanly. Yeah, but in the game, black captured, so that gave me quite a big things to go about, because I had a lot of forcing moves here. I would say probably the best bet for black is just protect this. There's so much, getting this push, black had to Atari, so there were so many forcing moves on the outside. So probably I would just maybe do something like this. Sorry, there's a slight delay when I'm putting down my moves. So after this, then black will probably enclose, and then I probably think this would still be good for white, even though black got the center. White got the upper side and a lot of territory on the right. So I pretty much like white here as well. So in the end, he kind of also got a little fuzzy here after I extended. He lost a lot here after white enclosed. And then at the end here, oh yeah, I definitely should talk about this. So if you turn and jumped, I have no idea what I'm going to do. That would have been very bad for white. So I probably would just have to push and cut. So of course, if white cuts when black connects, this is one of those shapes. So white, okay, of course not there. Oh, let's take that back. So white, if black connects, white captures. Oh no. So white captures, black connects. All of these are sente, so when black comes back to descend, white's going to have a lot of issues, because white's going to have to prevent black from living. But then when black goes here, white is not alive, so there's going to be liberation. I doubt white's going to win this one. So yeah, I was going to be in big trouble here. I got lucky here for sure. So I would have had to push, and then pretty much exchange everything. So would have to cut, then nope, not there. What would have to cut, and then Atari here, but then black would be able to Atari. Not there. Sorry, the lag is really doing this. It's probably going to be some sort of ko. Oh wow, actually white is dead. This is a kind of interesting result. It's a double ko in favor of black. So whenever white captures, black can capture here. That would have been really, really bad. But he did lose this on the lower right, so maybe we would still have a game going, but definitely I shouldn't have. This is a pretty embarrassing mistake, I must say. So in the game, he didn't really get it. So after all these, since white is alive here, black can't live. So that was the end of that. So then at the end here, my opponent felt that there was no need to continue, and so he resigned. So I think it's a very exciting game, and I definitely didn't control the game at all. So props to my opponent for that. I hope that this game was enjoyable. Lots of fighting, lots of trades, and I also had a good chance to share all my thought processes along the way. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and feel free to give me a like. Subscribe to tune into the next episode. I post videos every Friday, and we post lecture videos every Monday and Wednesday. So my name is Ryan, and I will catch you next time.